with just saying I'm Paloma Pavel. I'm with Breakthrough Communities. And with Carl Anthony, we build healthy, just, and sustainable community action in the Bay Area and beyond. We work at a regional scale. And we're very committed to the use of art and culture as a seed planting for how we transform our future, how we transform our world. And we're working with community groups in regions across the United States and in other parts of the planet, including we're working with groups in Japan over the last 30 years and more recently with community resilience in response to Fukushima. So it was beautiful to feel that sense of circling our earth with Vigili, and we want to honor your bringing the whole world to us and igniting that spirit in us today. So I'd like to open the next part of this is going to be sharing some very brief poem with you that is also a book. Many of you know Random Kindness and Senseless Acts of Beauty as a bumper sticker. It's actually a book and a work that Anne Herbert and I began 20 years ago. And this September, we're launching the anniversary, the 20th anniversary, and we are very honored to have that book featuring a foreword by Desmond Tutu. So to begin this evening, I would like to honor Archbishop Desmond Tutu, the people of South Africa, and liberation struggles throughout our planet that are going on, including the struggles in the Middle East right now, the Gaza and Israel, and to see that there's a very deep seed arising throughout our planet right now. And so I'm going to invite in the words of Desmond Tutu to open our evening. We are living in a historic moment. We are each called to take part in a great transformation. Our survival as a species is threatened by global warming, economic meltdown, and an ever-increasing gap between rich and poor. And I can feel his sort of chortling joy that just arises even in the face of such difficulty. And his words continue. Yet these threats offer us an opportunity to awaken as an interconnected and beloved community. Here in South Africa, interconnectedness is described by the concept Ubuntu. Let's say that. Ubuntu. Again, Ubuntu. Ubuntu is the philosophy and belief that our humanity is inextricably bound with one another. I am because we are. I am because we are. This interconnectedness is the root of who we are. A more peaceful world is possible wherever we are. Ubuntu. Thus, we are invited to become life artists. That's his term, amazing. Life artists. Those who create lives of wholeness and beauty at every instant. The life artist sees or creates a symphony of meaning and order, even in the face of suffering and chaos. My conviction that this is true is borne out not only from my experience in South Africa, but also as I visit other parts of the world. We can indeed transform this world, and we are each called to take part in this sacred work. Wherever we are, we can create beauty. Moment by moment, we can create joy. Instant by instant, we offer and can offer kindness. Thank you, Desmond Tutu. So, when we began this work, it was in response to the Persian Gulf War and the rise of violence and the Rodney King incident. And Anne and I began in a very kind of streetwise way and on street corners and began, how do we turn our attention from systemic violence and the sort of hell-bent pathway to violence and actually redirect our attention. And we wanted to create a spell that would break the trance that was heading us to the drumbeat of war. And so we took the phrase random violence and senseless acts of cruelty and created a reversal that we hoped would be a spell that would break incantation. And we're very excited to be seeing it spreading and rippling out in so many ways and want to bring it back to its radical root. So I dedicate this to the work of communities around the world and to my partner in this work, Anne Herbert, and also to Mayumi Oda, who has joined us with beautiful illustrations. They're taken from a 12th century Heian scroll where community groups were kept intentionally illiterate, and yet they organized themselves in the 12th century by doing picture drawings. And each of the figures, the animal figures, was a part of a picture's vocabulary, so people would know, oh, we're gathering in response to the samurai lord, and they would draw these pictures. Let's meet on Friday night. So this is a community organizing scroll that has been made modern. Thank you. Our leaders got confused, so we're all leaders now. They told us there was nothing we could do. They were wrong. And when we tell ourselves there's nothing we can do, we are wrong. We never know how much, and we never know how far it goes, but always we have power, and we have power. We're all making this soup we're all eating. We're all weaving the cloth we're all wearing. What we do can't go away. We're all in this circle together, this world wheel. Thank you, Vijali. We're all in this circle together. Anything we do randomly and frequently starts to make its own sense and changes the world into itself. Chaos theory talks to us about strange attractors. Senseless violence makes more and more sense when vengeance and fear take us closer and closer to a world where everyone is dead for no reason. But violence isn't the only thing that makes its own sense and is senseless. Anything you want there to be more of, do it randomly. Don't wait for reasons. It will make itself be more senselessly. Scrawl it on the wall. Muse, scrawl it on the wall. Random kindness and senseless acts of beauty. We're right on the edge. We're right on the edge of inventing millions of new ways of being together. We're right on the edge of inventing millions of new dances we can do together, minute by minute. And we're right on the edge of destroying ourselves out of life because we're too scared to have that much delight. The steps we take now make new earth grow beneath our feet. The steps we take now decide what kind of earth that will be. In every moment we live, we have the choice to find the fight or make delight. It's a circle. Start the dance. It's a circle. Start the dance. Thank you. So what I'd like to do now is take a moment to start the dance here as we move into our potluck. But just to ask if there's anyone who feels moved and would like to be part of the Random Kindness Voicestra. I'm looking for about between 5 and 10 people who'd like to come up, and we're just going to sort of alternate and say it through once with gusto in our own spirit and voices. So I see Enid. So if you just want to pop up and come forward, and we'll have a random, spontaneous performance. Susan, I see you jumping out of your seat. Okay. Am I making Lou nervous here as I'm unfurling the... Great. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to move the mic. If someone can help me get this stand out of the way. And we'll have, across the front here. just all move this way, and let's take a moment to just see this amazing, amazing production here of these trees and the earth and coming up out of the earth, and see what's sprouting in our midst here. Okay, great. So let's get a little bit of a beat going here. Maybe move down this way a bit. And we're not going to tell you exactly when to stop. You can kind of take a phrase or a line, or you can just kind of feel into it a little bit right here. And just to get you warmed up, this is the phrase. We're scrawling it on the wall here. Random kindness and senseless acts of beauty. Let's hear it back. Random kindness and senseless acts of beauty. Ubuntu. Ubuntu. So, our leaders got confused, so we're all leaders now.
They told us there was nothing we could do, but they were wrong.
When we tell ourselves there's nothing we can do, we are wrong.
We never know how much, and we never know how far it goes, but always we have power. We have power.
We're all making the soup. We're all eating. We're all weaving the cloth. We're all wearing.
What we do can't go away. We are all in the circle together. Anything we do randomly and frequently starts to make its own sense and changes the world into itself.
Changes the world into itself. Senseless violence makes more and more sense when vengeance and fear takes us closer and closer to a world where everyone is dead for no reason.
Senseless violence makes more sense when vengeance and fear take us closer and closer to a world where everyone is dead for no reason. But violence isn't the only thing that's senseless until it makes its own sense.
Anything you want there to be more of, do it randomly. Don't wait for reasons. It will make itself be more senselessly. Anything you want there to be more of, do it randomly.
Scrawl it on the walls, random kindness and senseless acts of beauty. Random kindness and senseless acts of beauty. Scrawl it on the wall. Random kindness and senseless acts of beauty on the wall.
We're right on the edge of discovering millions of new ways of being together, millions of new dances we can do together, minute by minute.
And we're right on the edge of destroying ourselves out of life because we are too scared to have that much delight.
We're right on the edge. We're right on the edge. We're right on the edge.
We're right on the edge. The steps we take now make new earth grow beneath our feet. New earth.
The steps we take now decide what kind of earth that will be. It decides what kind of earth that will be.
In every moment we live, we have the choice to find the fight or make delight. We have power. We have power. We have power.
We have power. We have power. We have power. It's a circle. Get up and start the dance.
Great. Oh, so why don't we why don't we stand up and make a circle here and have our closing circle. And